One of the first and probably the most important things that we look at ChargeSafe is the space between other parked vehicles. So this hashing area here really just hits the spot. We're looking for 1200mm space between bays, and that's exactly what Pogo have done here. So that's really great to see. Now, with these fantastic new units, I am actually really impressed with these. The screens are huge, which means that they're much more visible. You can see them better. And at night time, I would like to think that they're probably going to provide a little bit of lighting as well. So the screen height must be between 800mm and 1300mm relative to the user location. So from where my feet are here, what we're looking for is the height of the screen to be between here, 800mm, and here as the upper limit, which it is. When you touch to start it, it doesn't matter if you touch from here or up here, it still registers your touch, which is great because that means if I'm in a wheelchair, I can still reach and touch it. And if I'm hugely tall, it doesn't matter what height I am. Select a credit card, which is even better. That means that they've thought about their payment processes. So when it comes to pre-auth and being able to tap and pay, much more simple than registering your mum's maiden name, dog's date of birth in order to initiate a charge. So that makes things much more accessible too. So what we're looking for here is that all the components can be easily viewed, reached from a seated or standing position. As you move around the side of the bay, you can then reach your charging plug from either side. So left or right, depending on, which bay you're using, absolutely fine, not a problem. The next thing that we look at is if the charge point is installed at footway level, so if there's a curb or if it's level access. As you'll be able to see, with these charge points, there is a tiny little hint of a curb, and I will quickly address this because I can see that Pogo have made an exceptional effort in the accessibility of the site. This is completely unavoidable, sadly, because there is a slight slope to the site, and without spending tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of pounds levelling the ground, what they've actually got is a really nice drainage system, so the floor's not going to be slippery, but it does mean that the machine itself needs to be on a level ground. So there is a slight curb here, but it's not wide enough so that it would prevent a wheelchair user from being able to access the charge point. So if you do come to this particular site, I would say be wary. There is a slight slope, but you should be able to still use the charge point without any problems. When we're looking at low-level obstacles as part of our ChargeSafe assessment, we look for either a low impact protection barrier or a bollard. These bollards do meet the requirements that we have. They are within the distance that we look for from the charge point itself, so the network operator can be assured that their asset is protected from people who might want to drive into it, but also it's not going to prevent a user from being able to reach the screen, reach the payment terminal, and reach the cable holders behind. So that's a big tick from us.